Proudly brought to you by the Nigerian Economic Summit Group.
The sidelines of the Nigerian Economic Summit, Wole Famurewa met up with Rosa Whitaker. She's president and CEO of the Whitaker Group. It's a top 100 foreign policy global thinker for the year 2010. They spoke about the need to demonstrate broad support for enhancing and extending the African Growth and Opportunity Act. Find out more.
Well, AGOA is now a 10-year-old law in America which provides African countries with the opportunity to export essentially all goods into the U.S. markets without duty and without quota. And it was really a trade and investment-centered approach to development. And after 10 years, it was pioneering for us, but after 10 years, we can see that it has delivered. Untapped potential, but it has delivered. We've seen a tripling of African exports to the U.S. under AGOA. We've seen over 300,000 jobs created, especially labor-intensive jobs in like the garment sector. We're seeing in South Africa with the car industry. So it's been transformative, but it could do much more.
And as you mentioned, there's untapped potential and we can do a lot more. In Nigeria in particular, what we see is that really it's a case of oil going to the U.S., but we're not seeing enough of other goods and other commodities and other products taking advantage of this.
Yes, because actually what AGOA is, it's an opportunity, not a guarantee. So in order for it to work, there has to be a number of other things in place. When we look at, I just spoke about the opportunity for petrochemicals here transformed into synthetic textiles for garment production. That's going to require a reliable and cost-effective power supply. So until you get the power right, it's not going to work. But I really do see this government really tackling, here in Nigeria, tackling the difficult issues. So there's a renewed sense of hope and confidence that Nigeria's time for maximizing the benefits of AGOA will arrive. And I should also say that, you know, AGOA is not a panacea. It was a very modest U.S. initiative. But we've seen, even with this modest U.S. initiative that did not cost us very much in the States, it's had a very good effect. So we're now looking to build on it. We're now in a process of renewing key provisions of AGOA and building on it to see, for one, how can we expand the product list, and also we're looking to see if we can offer tax incentives so that U.S. companies that invest in Africa in labor-intensive industries will be able to repatriate their profits back to the U.S. tax-free. And also they could get a tax credit, these companies, if they purchase products with significant African content. That would be a significant, I think, benefit addition to AGOA, and that's what we're working for now.
Let's talk beyond Nigeria now, and of course the broader African continent. I know your group is very involved in trying to attract investments into Africa. Talk us through the opportunities you see and perhaps models that could work. During the presentations earlier today, I did hear a speaker allude to the fact that BMW, interestingly, is taking advantage of AGOA by putting factories in Africa so that they can export those cars to the U.S.
Well, yes, I think there are significant advantages. I mean, and just basically AGOA includes essentially all products. So if you take a particular African country and you look at sectors of comparative and competitive advantage, you will see an opportunity for AGOA because we have a very large market in the U.S. Here in Nigeria, for example, one other area of underexploited potential is the hides market. If we can get the hides market working and added value so we can transform those hides into leathers, then to shoe production, that will be phenomenally transformative. It sounds more difficult, I think, than it actually is, because right now in Italy, most of the Italian shoes that you're seeing are actually made with Ethiopian and Nigerian hides. So why can't we add value? So we see the opportunity for value addition in agricultural products. So I think it's country by country case. In South Africa, it was the cars. In Lesotho, it's been, AGOA has had a tremendous effect on the garment industry. More than 40,000 jobs created in the garment sector with exports to the U.S. In Kenya, we're seeing it in the flower and garment industry and sectors like tea.